Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
And I am Commander Coggins. And Stuart,
Yes,
as my catchphrase, but I will modify it. We've got a fleet of new ships. We've got a fleet of new ships. Sort of.
we do, sort of, kind
Yeah.
of, maybe, a little.
Maybe.
Well, in Season 3, Episode 3 of Discovery, called People of Earth, they actually talk about the burn. Michael does in like a voiceover. And you get to see a fleet of ships just all explode at the same time, which I think is just a visual representation of the burn happening. It's not all these ships were clustered together.
I don't know about you,
when it
but
happened.
it felt comical that they were all the exact same copy and paste explosion effect at the exact same time. Like I think it was clear and abstract because it came in from a hologram, so it's more like this is information on the past. Because I don't buy this scene happened in
Well,
real
it was
life.
like the sector. You saw the deltas, so the ships were scattered, but this is like a close-up visual representation of a ship on each of those things.
Yeah, so I'll take it with a heavy grain of salt of, well, it's not literally this. Especially as they said later in the episode, and this is going to be important for another discussion we do, is that they called out for why Discovery survived the burn. You know, warp core equals explosion. And Saru points out, we weren't at warp. And given this is Earth and they know exactly what happened, they would, if they knew you had to be at warp, they would have called them out for that, saying that's wrong. So if you only have to be at warp to burn, then these ships weren't at warp, so it's still another abstract.
And the other lady just either glossed over it because she didn't believe him to begin with, or anyway, we'll get into that discussion at some other point.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of abstractness to this anyway. But we're looking at designs, and I know this was teased in the Ready Room episode, although we didn't want to give that away. I did briefly skim it. I thought there was more here than there is. I'll be honest, there's a little bit. This is another cut and paste fleet, more than I thought. But do you have any first reactions? Because we do have a couple of new things.
I do have a few first reactions. I see a lot of things that make me think of other things. There is a very futuristic, almost Andor class design, and you know that I'm a fan of the Andor class, so I like that. I also see one that looks like a Romulan Deredex almost. It's got the same visual cue, like the first time you see it, it's upper left, well, kind of mid left.
The beak. The
Yeah,
beak, not beak.
yeah, and upper left as
Or
well.
kind of
Yeah.
like the hammerhead from Star Wars.
Yeah. And there's also this other one which has like a lot of negative space, which we've seen the debris of a few times now. I think it's safe to say it's the one that's floating around the relay station. But just the way that the struts go down and kind of like hit that center part, it looks very much Oberth like. So that being said, there's also some ships here that look like Galaxy Quest or could be in the Orville, you know. At least they tried. At least they put a little bit of thought into some future designs.
Yeah, I mean, this, I would be apprehensive when tasked to design ships this far in the future. Because whatever you do, thinking about the future anyway from now is hard. And then to think the ultra mega future, especially when they've already kind of broken visual language when it comes like holograms internally. Like the future is now a weird term. The Enterprise J was obviously quite weird, but it was very relatable. That was an appropriately weirdly future ship. These are even more future.
And how far in the future was the Enterprise J?
2600s. So this is as far away from the J as the J is to now. So another giant leap for Federation kind. But I'm happy to report there is they did throw thus the bone of having the retro looking Federation starship with nacelles and whatever, and I don't mind it. Again, we're super far away. I'm sure they're very low detail. All of them are low detail models because they didn't need to be detailed. So they didn't design, like with the ships from Picard, they didn't design in phaser strips or escape pods or blinkies or all the stuff you need. So there's clearly no visible glows of any kind on those, etc. So it's a bit of a weird one. They've also got a pointy one with 4 nacelles, which looks very much like the Leland Section 31 ship. I wouldn't be surprised if they use the same basic 3D. It doesn't, not exactly. Although, when you think future, you obviously would expect to still see a saucer because it's a legacy thing. But the fact is, the most futuristic ship we ever saw was Relativity, which is an arrowhead. So I appreciate we did see an arrowhead here because, yes, that was the last time we ever saw. So obviously you're going to have arrowheads as be a thing as well. Not sure about the flying saucers, but someone said they might be sort of mobile star bases. I mean, they don't. I mean, they just look like flying saucers or donuts or the ship from Men in Black 1. But who's to say these are all Starfleet ships? Because the Federation went kablooey. They didn't say these are Starfleet fleet. This could be a Federation fleet with civilian ships, with trade ships,
I'm going to say, sorry, and even if they are Starfleet ships, I mean, this far in the future, many other species and races have joined the Federation and have design influence as well. So,
well, as we know, the Oberth looks nothing like the whatever. There are weird ones. I think they're clearly low poly, simple models. They're definitely a different set of design styles, which I appreciate. But they're so lack of clarity. Like, I know we were both expecting either them to warp in, actually see them, or to get close-ups to kind of prove. So this is the only shot. This is the only shot from the train. I'm glad I didn't look at the ready room, because it'd be like, oh, this is it. So it's still a bit lackluster. But then again, they also get the most bang for the buck, because they can design 5 ships really quickly, build these models in a day, as in each one or less, probably less, or definitely less if you're a good modeler, and then throw them on the screen. And it's like, look, Federation fleet, and everyone's like, is that a pylon? And like, haha, we got bang for the buck. They get ships without having to really design them.
No, the question is, are we going to see any of these in flashbacks? Are we going to see any of these that have survived, that might be limping along? That would be nice. I wouldn't mind seeing a few of them more up close. Like, there are a few designs here that intrigue me. Like I said, the one like the Andor, I want to see more of. There's also one that appears on the right-hand side there. It looks like it's almost like a Nebula class, like it has a pod at the top, which there's a few of those.
I mean, to be fair, they could throw different variations into each other.
And there's a really odd one, too, that has, like, 4 points, which I don't know if they're facing backwards or going forwards, but it's kind of the outlier here, because it doesn't have a saucer, it doesn't have a Federation feel to it, really. But I mean, I give them credit, because they did design some new stuff. I just want to see it in more detail. That's all. I mean, I'm sure we'll see an Eagle Moss ship of each of these eventually.
So yeah, I mean, some of these, if they don't see them further, we'll get like uber simple, But it does put into question though, and I was more inclined to give them the benefit of the doubt of when we see the Hiawatha. I mean, if that's the burn, and this is also the burn, this is the same time, I don't buy that the ships in that clip would fit in with these ships in this clip. So, hopefully, I wouldn't say any of them necessarily look good. Probably the Starfleet looking one is probably the best looking one, but I mean, I wouldn't put any on my tree, hallmark. None of them to write home about, but at least they are different. And I'm kind of happy as well with the little H that there's no ships with the non-connecting pieces that seem to be the most futuristic ship, because while I understand it, I wouldn't do that. Just personal preference.
No, I hear you.
So I appreciate there's not that.
Yeah. No, there are a few intriguing designs here, like I said. Especially because I am a fan of the Andor class. That one looks very Andor-like. And it also looks like it would fit in the Galaxy Quest fleet, no problem. I don't know if it's just the colors on it, but that's the vibe I get. And again, I want to see a closer version of it. And we see it from a few angles here, like the side, a 3/4, and then the other 3/4 as well.
And Stuart, I think it's fair to say, it is sleek.
It is sleek. It's rad, too.
It is.
Only true Trekyards fans will understand those references.
Yeah. I do quite like the glow on the nacelles, that forward bright blue, just big, powerful glow. That's kind of cool.
I think there's another version of the Ford nacelle design on the left as well, from the back, though. And it actually has a shuttle bay door that's closed. So they've learned their lesson from Discovery.
Well, yes, Stuart, there you go. The new Federation / Starfleet / Future Fleet. Yeah. Yeah.
I hope we have an opportunity to talk more about these designs in the future. Like, I hope we do see some standalone shots of them a little bit more up close. Who knows what the future of Discovery holds for us as far as ships go? But
although we definitely hoped for that Discovery season 1, episode 1 and 2 with massive fleet, and then most of them never come back, and it's just like, here, design 21 ships, and we only see 4 again. It's like, oh well, okay. So maybe we won't, but hopefully we will.
This is a nice flash forward. We love ships, and we love to see something new and cool. Wonder if Ryan Denning did any of these, or how many he did. Ryan is a great guy who we'd like to have on the show at some point, but he's designed some stuff for Discovery Season 2 and did a fantastic job. So anyway, once we learn more, you'll know more about these ship designs. So until then, I mean, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you hit the like button. That'd be awesome. Also click notification icon so that you know when we upload our videos, because we do a lot of great content like this. If we see these ships in any more detail, you will get notified that we're doing a video about it. So click that and make sure you join us for the lives and discussions as well, because we have a lot of fun talking about Star Trek here. It's what we do.
Yeah, and just click and watch those individual videos. So many little bits. I mean, this is one of those individual videos. We are doing a sub video right now. And yeah, and join the lives, like you said, join them. Super chat helps out if you can. As much as you can, or as little as you can, because just being there does help us out. You'd be surprised. Then click the like button, click all the like buttons of all the videos. Hey, even if you want to go back to a backlog, just start clicking like. I'm not going to complain, you know. And helps out on Patreon if you can, monthly service. Join the channel again, monthly service. Or PayPal, one-time donation, trekyards@hotmail.com. All does mount up.
That's right. So until next time, and maybe new ships, we're
Hopefully.
Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
And I'm Commander Kongs. We'll see.
I'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.